Sharper Point Commentary, presented by Schwartz Laser Eye Center.
In Arizona's U.S. Senate debate last night, there was a lot of rippage. Ruben Gallego ripped Kari Lake for lying.
She has lied to Arizonans about the 2022 election. She has said that she still is the rightful governor of Arizona.
And Lake ripped Gallego over the economy, hitting pretty close to home.
Somebody who has destroyed the very congressional district that he has served for the past 10 years.
It wasn't all ripping each other, though. Only about 98.2%. A new Emerson College poll taken before the debate shows Gallego leads Lake 50 to 43%. Since last month, Gallego's support increased 2 points in that poll, while Lake's support held at 43%. That same Emerson College poll spells out what Arizona voters consider to be the top issues right now. And they hit them all last night. Abortion, threats to democracy, and the economy were all brought up, but the border was topic A, and it should have been, because this Emerson College poll shows that the border is now the top issue for most Arizona voters. Displacing the economy is the top topic. In fact, economic concerns continue to be the top issue for voters in all of the battleground states except for Arizona, where immigration is the top issue for 30% of voters, followed by the economy at 24%. So, Lake talked a lot about the border, even when the border wasn't supposed to be talked out. And she blamed politicians like Gallego for failing at the border.
All that time we watched as career politicians said they were going to secure the border and give us border security, and they never did until President Trump came along and actually secured the border. But he had to do it with one hand tied behind his back because people like my opponent.
But Gallego claimed he's stood up for border security and said Lake failed to support bipartisan immigration legislation because Trump said so.
The mayors that I've visited, county officials, they needed this and they wanted this. Kari Lake came out and was against that bill. Even after it was carved off between the foreign policy aid and just solely standing, she was still against it.
Yeah, so they talked a lot about the border, and they should have, right? But here's a question. Did anyone win the debate? Well, Chuck Coughlin, a political expert, a guy who's consulted lots of big-name politicians in Arizona, and a guy I worked with some when I was actually working in politics, said that probably very few people who were undecided tuned in, meaning not many minds were made up last night. But Kari Lake sure fed red meat to her supporters.
There's probably a lot of Lake folks that were pretty enthused last night. That, that's what they were expecting from her. She delivered for that. It's just off kilter with where most of the electorate is at. The narrative that murderers, rapists, and mentally health challenged people are all coming across the border, and terrorists are all coming. I mean, Arizona voters know that's not true.
I have a lot of respect for Chuck. He is a brilliant guy. But I really think he's missing the mark on this one, because when we don't know who's crossing our border, we can't say that we don't know that rapists and murderers and terrorists aren't coming across. So, all right, back to the last most important question. Did anyone win the debate? No. And that includes us voters.
Thanks for watching Sharper Point. Click to see more from Arizona's morning news and tap the button in the middle to subscribe.